Well, great stuff, man. Fish, you got some great topics as well. So let's go on to pop culture.
Thank you. So you kind of joked recently, but we should have a part of this where we call the obituaries.
The obituary.
Or whatever,
Yeah, I was serious. I was actually
but
serious.
there were a couple significant passings from our Gen X, at least growing up knowing these people. So one was well-known actor Gavin MacLeod.
Yeah.
Well-known 70s actor. He was best known for, we had two big roles on television. His first one was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, working with Mary in the newsroom, and then Captain Steubing on the Love Boat. So if you know Love Boat remotely in reruns, or maybe you watched it as a kid with your folks or whatever it is, you know who Captain Steubing was. And his TV appearances were too numerous today. It's all these 70, Hawaii Five-O, Hogan's Heroes, Perry Mason, etc., etc. So just tons and tons of shows. Absolutely. And then just reading more about him, he was a mentor to some in the acting profession. He was he seemed to be a religious man. So it just seemed like a good, wholesome dude.
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah.
And, he was one of those actors, and you see these actors in Hollywood who, they're not the ones you see at the award shows and stuff like that, but have a huge body of work.
Sure.
I've seen him in so many different shows and movies. If you're a fan of this show, you've got to be familiar with the Love Boat. To me, that was Saturday night. Love Boat, Dukes of Hazzard, Fantasy Island. Man, love that show. It was a unique type of show, a drama sort of / comedy series on a cruise ship.
Right.
And you had your mainstays, Julie, ship's coordinator director. You had Isaac, the bartender. Is my impersonation. But anyway,
out of sight.
Out of sight. And of course you had the skank of the bunch, which was the Doctor. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, that guy, man, he was Captain Kirk on that ship, I tell you. And of course you had Gopher, the yeoman purser.
Right.
You always got to play the fool. But it was a great show, man. Love Boat was just something we all grew up with. Great Gen X topic.
Yeah. Weekly guests. It was a huge 70s.
Oh, yeah.
All the 70s stars at the time was
every week it was somebody different.
Okay, another passing was, you guys know Millie Vanilli, of course, right?
Yeah.
So
Tragic story.
Yeah, very tragic story. They won a Grammy for Best New Artist of 1990, and then it came out that the two guys that accepted the award that's been performing were actually just lip syncing, and it was a huge scandal.
Debacle.
The one poor man, I don't know if that was, I'm sure it was a factor in his time, but he wound up committing suicide many years ago. But the key voice behind Millie Vanilli was singer John Davis. He passed away recently from coronavirus at age 66.
Wow.
So he was, big vocals, had big vocals on Girl, You Know It's True, and Blame It on the Rain, Babe Don't Forget My Number. These are huge hits for Millie Vanilli back then, but he was one of the key voices on those tracks. And after that, he actually went on, and the surviving member of Millie Vanilli, he became like a mentor to him. They made a little group, and they were I think they were recording together and all that stuff. So just seemed like a nice man, and he got caught up in all that stuff. It was unfortunate, but it was rest in peace, John Davis. So Millie Vanilli, guys, were you fans? What do you think of the scandal, all that stuff? Go ahead.
I was not a fan.
Yeah.
That was not my genre of music back then. I was hair and metal. That was me, and that was right prior to me going into the military when I reconnected with country. So, yeah, that was not me at all. And then when the scandal came out, I'm like, that's just I was very, very hard on the group, very hard on that whole act, and it left a sour taste in the mouth when you heard that name, Millie Vanilli. But I later on, a little bit less. And watched the story. I don't know if it was on VH1 or one of those. I watched the documentary, and I'm like, kind of felt bad for them, but at the same time, they tried to pull one over at the end of the day, and it just.
Okay, let me catch you.
There you go.
All right. So I too was not a fan. Same. I was dating a girl at the time who was so in love with them. And of course, here I was, guys, with the long braids. It just disgusted me. I went to go shave my head. So I despised them when they came out. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert on them, but I have watched extensive video on their story, read so many articles on them. And you said they tried to pull one over. Actually, they did not. I feel really, really bad for them because they got caught up in something that any artist could have got caught up in. Every artist wants to make it. That's your dream. These guys were starving, and they were seen by this producer, I forget his name, and said, hey, I can make you famous. I need you to become video stars. I don't need you to sing, even though they can or could, but I need you to lip sync. You guys got the look, you got the dance. I got this group. They're not what you call, TV faces. You know what I'm saying? To be polite.
I can.
And they took an opportunity that I don't know too many people would have turned down.
Sure.
Did they see Grammys coming? No. I'm sure they just thought maybe we could make some money. The videos were popular. And now the next thing you know, they are in the news every day because they're winning Grammys. Now they're under the spotlight. I can imagine how nerve-wracking that got for them.
Sure.
Then the lip sync debacle happened, which I don't understand why they panicked. I can't tell you how many artists have lip synced to their own music, and there's been problems. Remember the Miley Cyrus deal on Saturday Night Live, and so many others. All they had to do was play it off. Yeah, we were lip syncing. Our voices are tired. We've been touring for months now, but they panicked. The story came out. So I feel bad for them. Fab got into the drugs. They tried to do their own album. Their time had passed, and then the drugs. He ended up committing suicide. Now Rob started hanging with the real people. He even did some shows and some concerts with them. And of course, he eventually, I believe, just passed as well, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's still.
Rob's still alive? Okay,
yes.
Great.
Yes.
But just a sad and tragic story.
Yeah, we lip sync every other episode of this show.
Yeah, every time.
You can't even barely tell. We sit around and record stuff we think is funny, and then we try to lip sync.
Yeah, there we go.
You think we get something right once in a while, but no, poor man. So yeah, rest in peace. On a nicer story. This is now we're in Northeast Ohio, or in the Akron, Ohio area, and it's a local story. We won't dwell on it too long. I just thought this was really nice. So. Ernestine Stallworth, known as Miss E to her co-workers. Now in this area, Swenson's hamburgers are a huge Akron thing. So if you're a LeBron James fan, you might remember he made a movie. He came to Akron. He took the co-stars to Swenson's Drive. It's a very big local hamburgers chain. But she just celebrated 50 years of service for Swenson's. She is 75 years young, still working there. The mayor of Akron, she trained him as a teenager, and many other people. So just got some nice accolades by the former owner and then the current ownership, and they offered to pay for a vacation for her and her family to go anywhere that they want and stuff like that. So just a nice local story. But just it struck me is that you don't hear many people anywhere really working 50 years at any location
For
that
any
much
job,
these
right.
days.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so this lady just hard worker, and quotes. I just, you kids out here, just listen, just pay attention to this lady's quote, okay? She's like, it's hard work.
Stay off my lawn.
Yeah, it's hard work, but you know what? If you mind your own business, stay to yourself, then you're okay. I learned to mind my own business. I come to work, and that was it. I do my work. Very simple. I learned that a long time ago at work. Show up, work, leave. It's very simple. If you can do that, you keep yourself out of all the hearsay and gossip and all that crap. And that lady learned that, and there she is 50 years later.
It's funny that she has that quote, because I learned very early on when in the military, I was bringing work home, and I was a newlywed. And that
recipe for trouble.
That was on the rocks at the very beginning. So, Tracy, my ex-wife, she said, you either leave work at home or you don't come home. And it hit me pretty good. Like I said, we were young. Mikey was very young, he was less than a year old. I learned that. So then I learned to keep work at work.
Mm-hmm.
You keep home at home, and you try your damnedest to not intermingle the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done a pretty good job over these years. I catch myself every once in a while, and Marcy will even say, "Hey, you're at home," and because I've told her the story over years, and she'll say, "You're at home," and boom, I snap out of it, and we're good. So,
excellent lesson. I learned that lesson years ago. Playing in bands, especially particularly when I was in shadow play when I was young, and we had a saying, when you get to rehearsal, set your problems outside at the door. They'll be there when you leave.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Pick them up when you leave. You've got 4 or 5 individuals, all different lives, different things going on. If everybody brings their guff in, nothing's going to get done.
Right.
And you got to learn to respect everybody's time to achieve a common goal. And that's what it's about. It's not saying don't care about what somebody else is going through. It's about when you have a common goal, you can't afford to do that. So this is a great lesson.
Yep. So many more years, Miss E. Swenson.
Yes.
Congratulations, by the way.
Absolutely.
Just a real quick one here. So exciting developments. Seth Rogen, we all know him.
Absolutely.
Comedic actor. He is a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, and he is making a new animated turtle movie set to release in 2023. And I'm excited for this project.
Animated, huh?
Animated movie.
And
You can read articles on this stuff, but his thing is he wants to focus some on the fact that they're teenagers. He felt like some of the newer content kind of got away from the fact now the original comic and the original cartoon series, they were definitely teenage.
I was about to say,
Absolutely.
Pizza and all that stuff, and that kind of made it extra fun. But he kind of wants to get back to some of their teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and focus a little bit more on that. So I'm excited for that. What do you guys think? Excited for the new movie?
I've never outgrown the Ninja Turtles. Still love them. Still love them to this day.
no, and I'm really happy they're going back to the animated side.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are making a new movie. This will be on Netflix. I think that's also animated. That's coming out sooner. So it's not that. This is another one he's doing in 2023. And last thing I got is Friends Reunion. Started streaming on HBO Max last week. We talked a little bit off camera. A little mixed reviews, So I haven't seen it myself yet. Not overly excited personally.
Right.
Friends Reunion, excited. Have you seen it? Going to see it? What do you think?
Well, I'm not going to tell Alexa to remind me, put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine at some point in time I'm going to check it out just for nostalgia's sake.
Yep.
It is a show from our generation.
Sure.
I was never a huge Friends fan. I saw some episodes that I thought were hilarious. Anytime that it's centered on Phoebe or Joey, I thought it was really, really good.
Yep.
So I'll probably check it out just to see, how they're interacting, how as they're older, things like that. I like seeing that type of thing when you see growth and you something go back. If you haven't seen the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air get together,
Oh, I need to watch that too.
man,
I forgot about
phenomenal.
it.
And when they get to the Uncle Phil segment, if you still have a dry eye, you're not human.
Is it on HBO Max too?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
try
If
to
your
find
eye
it.
is still dry, you need to check your pulse.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So I'll check it out just because. Get it?
I haven't seen it with all the girls that were especially here today. They're all Friends fans. At some point in time, it's going to show up on my television. So I'll just wait for him. But am I going to lose sleep if I don't see it, or if I'm going to run out and grab it? No.
Okay.
But like I said, all my kids are big, huge Friends fans. So.
Yeah, I talked about this on the Convincing Idiots podcast too. It's like that show. I started watching it. It was the thing of its era, in my opinion. Would it have been as big a hit if it started today? I'm not sure. But back then, as we know, that was before all the streaming services. We had cable, but there wasn't a lot of original content necessarily worth watching on the cable channels. They still had a lot of sports and stuff like that. I don't know. So it was still mainly the network station.
Yeah.
So, it was on around Cheers and Seinfeld.
Right.
It was a huge Thursday night on NBC, and I just kind of finished it because I'd sort of got that far with it and decided I'm just going to finish the journey, if you will.
Now with me, and this is something that don't normally come out of my mouth because I like watching different people, different aspects of life, different from mine. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't connect with Friends.
Right.
And a lot of times I felt like it was this 20-year-old posh white girl hippie show. You know, you know what I mean? Like, just nothing that connected with me. I thought some of the, how can I put this? Some of the content on there to me was very weak. Yeah. And so I just didn't connect with it a lot. But like I said, I saw some episodes that were hilarious. I love when, you know, Phoebe would sing at the cafe and all that type of stuff. So,
not a very diverse show.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, it's just a different thing.